Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Three of Stones and Creativity. And how fitting that this card comes in right after the Seer, which we talked about yesterday, in creating, she kind of manifests all that creation for you, whether it's in the arts or, I look at it as creating, all sorts of different things, whether it's arts or poetry, writing, sculpting, projects, creating manifestation in your life, with everything that's out there. The Three of Stones creativity, though, even though it rides on that Seer's coattails, the cloak of wisdom, that she has, if you look at this picture, the green woman is grounded, which is fitting for the stones type, stones card. She's got her hands on the two stones, the two pillars that are next to her, and each one of them's got an animal on it. One's the auroch, and the other is the horse. Okay, and both are prominent within the Wildwood Tarot deck. You see the auroch in the Moon card, and you see the horse as the Knight of Stones. Within, the stone suit, more or less. Okay, and in that Knight of Stones, the horse leads you to where you want to go. It'll carry you to your destination, whether it's up a hill, down a hill, fast or slow. And that auroch within the Moon, symbolizes that, the universe has that ebbs and flows. And, if you talk to creative artists, they get that ebb and flow, with their poetry, with their just their normal journal writing, with their art, if it's paint art or pottery or anything like that. There's an ebb and flow that goes with that creativity. The key here, especially after the Seer card, is the universe creates all. The universe created us all here. The universe created all the animals. The universe created the world that we live in. Okay, and everything that's involved within it, it's been created. We are lucky as humans that we're able to think freely and think individually. We're all unique in that aspect. And at the same time, each of us can have different creative ideas on how to move forward. So, when the artist sits down and, thinks about that painting or thinks about that clay that's in front of them or thinks about writing, they listen to their inner voice. And that's what the Seer was talking about yesterday, was going within and looking at that inner voice. And they mediate on that energy to help them get into the flow. They get in synchronization with that energetic pattern that's coming from the universe or coming from spirit, okay? And once they're in the flow, pow, they're in a zone, just like a sports person. And you can't, until they break that flow, they're going full bore ahead, making whatever they need to make. And that's allowing, how that starts is by opening up to the universe and allowing that creative flow to come into you. And you become inspired and you create with that energy. And it could be something, as abstract as a couple blotches, on the wall, or something that's, very, very beautiful in, a piece of art of, a beautiful woman, or a flower or whatever, and it could be, done in sculptures too, in pottery. The great thing about that unique person doing the creativity is there's somebody out there that enjoys what's there. They enjoy the uniqueness of a certain artist, okay, or a certain element within pottery. Not everybody's the same. Everybody has their own different interests. So what that creative person makes is inspiration for somebody else to look at it and say, wow, that is really neat. I'd like to have that, and maybe put it up on a wall or put it on a shelf, okay, and just love the aspect of that's something that they can look at and get joy out of. All right, something that they can have on their mantle, all right, whether it's a piece of pottery or, a sculpture or, even just a drawing or something, it has meaning. It brings them joy. It brings them happiness. At the same, once something like that happens, it brings into that healing energy, which we talked about with the seven of stones. Okay, healing. I did that chakra meditation to help heal. When you get a nice piece of creative art or whatever it is, writing, however you want to look at it, there's that healing within, okay, that brings you that joy. And when you get to that joy and that happiness and that bliss, you heal yourself and it nourishes the soul. Okay, that spiritual relationship during that creative flow that the artist has allows one to be, allows you to be one with that universe, allows you to be connected. And it's the same thing when you have that painting or you have that pottery or you have that writing in front of you as you're reading stuff. And it could even be books that you enjoy reading. Being one with the flow, being one with the maker of that creative piece. Okay, and being in that, there's a little bit of that energetic flow left. Okay, I know for myself, when I read books, I'm a visual person. When I read, I can see what's going on. That's that creative energy. They're drawing a picture in their words so that you can see that in your mind's eye, all right, and be a part of it. Okay, it's the same thing with movies. Movies are a creative piece too. When you go to a movie and something is really, it moves you to tears, that's the joy and the happiness that producer or those actors want to bring out. Okay, because they know it's a touching moment. They know it can be a horrific moment if it's a horror movie, or a war movie or something like that. There's so much creative energy in there that when people go to watch the movies or people read books or people look at art and go to art festivals, some of that energy transfers over to you. And you get to be a piece of that flow. And that flow is ever moving. It doesn't stop. The universe is always there. The artistic beauty takes on, so many different forms, and I've mentioned a whole bunch of them. And for the artist and the energy, to put it into work, it's enjoyed by others. And it's just, even the imagery on these cards, Will Worthington, if I'm saying his name right, drew these cards out, based on what was going on. Not only as a tool for the tarotist, okay, but for the imagery that he wanted to represent, to show that joy, to show that bliss, to show that, that happiness with what's going on. All right. So, that's today's card in a nutshell, the Three of Stones and creativity. How do you've got that extra time in your hands. If you're working from home, that's a great thing. You're able to, be at home with family and friends and actually just family. But how are you creative after that? How are you creative in your projects as you're working from home? How are you creative in collaborating with others? I saw on the news today that there were students from a university that creatively put together a musical through Skype or through Zoom or something like that. All these different kids in college playing different instruments, making music together. And then, somebody collaborated, put all that together. That's creativity at its work. That's being in that flow of spirit, being in that flow of energy. These kids, they're holed up just like everybody else. They're being creative with their thoughts. They're being creative with the music that they made. And they shared it out to the world so others could enjoy it, to take people off of their minds on what's going on. So leave your comments down below on how you're creative, during this time that, everybody, during this pandemic, where everybody's inside. I look forward to reading them. All right? So this is Dee for The Spirit's Path. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.